Annissa here with Firehouse Education and this week's Ask Annissa video column. And this week, I'm really excited because I have a really good friend with me. This is Ray. Here we are in Minnesota and Ray's with Service Restoration. And Ray's actually done our hotshot training about a year and a half ago. We came out and did some on-site work with them. And we were just here visiting and having some really great conversation. And I decided to ask him to hold that thought. So we stopped our conversation, got out the camera, because that's naturally what you do, right? When you're having great restoration conversation. And I thought we'd capture this on camera for you guys, because what we were talking about is actually something that I've talked about with a lot of other companies. And it's a question that comes up a lot, and I think it's a struggle for some of us, and I thought it was a good conversation to share with you. So Ray, we were talking about employees, we were talking about content and some of the struggles there, and you were sharing about consistencies or lack thereof. So you want to kind of rephrase that for him a little bit?
I have wonderful employees. I do. They're hardworking. They're good. We just once in a while we run into issues with the Wonder Woman complex where it's like, not my problem. I didn't do it. I wasn't there.
Deflect.
It's like they're deflecting everything. And I'm a nice guy. I'm a laid-back, quiet guy. Maybe not your quintessential manager type, but how do you deal with that? I'm not trying to blame them. I want to work with them to fix the problem.
Yeah.
But when they get so defensive, it makes it real hard. And I guess do you have any keys to fix that problem?
Right.
And let them understand that it's, hey, how do we do this where let's just stop the problem.
Right.
Let's fix the issue.
Right. Well, first off, Ray, I know a bit about you and how you operate, and you are awesome, and your team is awesome. And this isn't like, again, you're not saying, yes, you do have a wonderful team that you're working with, but everybody, let's face it, nobody wants to be wrong. Yep. Nobody wants to feel like they're not doing a good job.
And nobody wants to be blamed.
And nobody wants to be blamed. We have, I think it's kind of maybe an innate thing in us as people where it's like taking responsibility is scary. So in contents, it's actually vital that we have responsibility being taken, okay?
You got me into this contents thing, so we're good.
I know. So this is all my fault. This is all my fault. So
that's me deflecting, but
yeah, right. No. So there's just a couple quick things that I really want to address when you say this, is that, it's really important that we make sure that us, as managers, this is about us taking responsibility.
Absolutely.
And making sure that we're doing everything we can do to empower and sustain our team so that we're not frustrating them and they can actually do their job the way it needs to be done. That being said, how do we make sure we're not doing that before we go forward and either have disciplinary action or something else transpire? Well, we have to ask ourselves, are we providing our team, number one, with the right training? Have they been trained? Do they have the skill, the knowledge, the ability to do their job correctly? Number two, do we hold them accountable, right? It's like children, who are just allowed to run wild and go do what they want. They don't feel loved and cared for. He's pointing to his kids over here. They don't feel, cared for, and they don't feel safe. Well, employees, it's very similar in the fact that they want structure and they want to know that they can come to you if they need, and they want accountability, okay? The third thing is that when you have that training that you've provided, so everybody knows what to do, they know how to use the technology and equipment, right? And they know what their responsibilities are, and now we have the accountability that we're holding, that we make sure that we are, we're holding them accountable. Are we checking on that? So there's a term that we used to use in the restaurant industry back in the day when I was a little younger, that we used to say, you inspect what you expect. So if you train your team, you give them all the SOPs, they know that soft goods go here in this box wrapped this way, that we handle our china and release forms and we fill them out and we do it this way, like this, but then we never go back and inspect it. We never go back and check on those jobs and see how that flow is going and if those things are being done correctly. We really can't blame anyone else but ourselves if it's not being done accurately. Couple things there. One, if you never go back and re-inspect it, it's gonna start being done in the path of least resistance if they're coming up against resistance. And resistance might be that maybe they don't actually really understand a piece of their job, okay? The other thing maybe the resistance is they just don't want to do it. So maybe you have the wrong people on the wrong seats of the bus as well. Maybe you have people in your contents division that are great. Maybe they're great employees, but they're not great in contents. So maybe they need to be in MIT. Or maybe that's more of an admin person. Maybe you have them in the wrong position. Not that they're wrong for your company,
Yep.
but maybe you have them in the wrong spot, okay? So those are just like some things to think about that I thought were more positive, and honestly, I find is a big part of the problem that happens, especially, you know, we're forever the ancient employee versus boss angst that goes on, right?
Yep.
And yet I think that there's actually responsibility on both sides. And look, we absolutely can have employees, you do the right training, they have the responsibilities, they have the SOPs, they know what needs to be done, they're just not doing it. So then you have to inspect what you expect, and if the expectations are not being met and they're well aware of them, then there's gonna have to be some action taken. Okay, that's not what we wanna do, and that's not always nice, but it is what it is. Otherwise, you're gonna frustrate all the other employees that are doing things, or your estimator. We were talking about that earlier, who may feel frustration because these people aren't taking care of what they need to take care of, right?
Yep.
So you're actually cheating not only yourself and that employee, but you're cheating everybody else in the process, right?
Yes.
Okay, I hope that kind of helped,
It does.
answered, gave little pointers. The other thing I want to do before we get off camera for sure, by the way, thank you so much. Like I totally put Ray on the spot. We're just here visiting a pizza and beer, and I asked him to be on Ask Annissa, and let's do this together. So thank you for that. And I also want to take this opportunity to wish you an awesome happy birthday. Today's actually Ray's birthday as well, so very good. Just want to wish you a
And
happy
Merry
birthday.
Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
Why,
Your
thank
family.
you so much.
You get to sneak back and go.
I know, right? Well, on that note, I want to again thank Ray for being on camera with me. I always love it when I'm not alone. And I want to thank you for spending time watching the video, and be sure and send me questions if you have them, Annissa@firehouseeducation.com. And I want to take this moment too to wish you an amazing, happy, wonderful new year. We're about to start 2021. I think we've all been waiting for that for just a minute. And it'll only get better. Okay, well, like we said, thanks for spending time with us, and you have a great rest of your day.